It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Patriots and the Broncos. Next on Madden NFL 22.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make...
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway in Foxborough. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. They'll be led by the Heisman finalist from a season ago, the rookie from Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there are many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay those passes in on the deep ball.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jones. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Throwing, Jones. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down, it's Stevenson. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
So now here are the Broncos for their first drive of the game. They'll be led by Teddy Bridgewater in his 8th season now in the NFL.
A Pro Bowl quarterback early in his career in Minnesota before a horrific knee injury slowed down his progress. He's a more than capable quarterback and makes the most of his opportunities when he's a starter in the NFL.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. On third down, Bridgewater. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught at the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Tim Patrick, 69 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He'll let this go deep for Bourne. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he's going to take this down close to the 1st as he's brought down at the Patriots 39. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. From the gun, Bridgewater. He's going to look deep for his running back, Gordon. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain of the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Here we go with Williams. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the Patriots are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get him behind the line twice in a row. Here's Jones. On third down, and that will be incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Bridgewater to throw it. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the Pats are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Now a toss play. It's Harris. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. 6-0 our score after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Looking to throw. Jones. This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play there for the Patriots.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner. Great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. But I think the Patriots are going to hang on to the football. They do. They get it back. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. They hand this off to Harris. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. He picks up 7 yards there, but they're still faced with a difficult 3rd and goal here. Back to throw. Jones. Checking this down to Stevenson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
No, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
To return it, here's Deontay Spencer. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him.
And he works 3. There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Melvin Gordon, 74 yards. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. So Melvin Gordon, he has been a 1,000-yard rusher in this league. No more for getting the tough yards, but he breaks off a big one there.
And the thing that stood out to me was his ability to continue through the initial contact. How many times do we see runners get slowed up and not get what they can on a run because of that first contact? But he kept the compass pointing in the right direction, kept the legs churning, and turned this into a huge play.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. On the return is J.J. Taylor. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Another go-around now for the Patriot offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll let this go deep for Bourne. And got his man complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big play there for the Patriots. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Harris. Uses the stiff arm. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Jones. Complete. Smith has it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Mike 49. So we got...
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And the The throw there going to be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. He'll fire one downfield for Fant, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Bridgewater. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Judy, 79 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And it's caught inside the 5.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare him to do that? What was
maybe
that?
they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe you've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And all the way down to the 12. A big play there on the catch and run. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with,
and that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson there to make the grab, and the Patriots get a score closer. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And this is back to an 8-point game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return is Spencer. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Bridgewater. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a big play there for the Broncos. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Flush to his right. And he's taken down inside the 30. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, though. Let's get a check on the next.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter play. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points.
Gets through, and now an opening. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon, 78 yards. And the Broncos come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And that's a second touchdown run of this game, and this one, and a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go. But how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. This is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
On the draw, it's Harris. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Jones. Bradley Chubb. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Denver's offense now set to go. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run,
there goes Melvin Gordon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Melvin Gordon, 46 yards. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
Looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Jones.
He'll let this go deep for Bourne.
And incomplete on the deep ball. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
He'll let this go deep for Bourne. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Stevenson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. And the Broncos get there and take him down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And Denver getting set to take the field. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Man, 216 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Being chased out left. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he will slide to a halt at the end of that one.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. A 2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Foxborough. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And it's a fake. He's going to throw it, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs.
They'll run with Stevenson to begin the drive.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter.
On 2nd and 7, Jones.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Now Jones throwing on 3rd and long. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big play there for New England. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, he stays up. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on 1st and goal, so a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And the pressure gets to him again. Mike Purcell. He's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
Now this likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
Back to throw. Jones. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That will bring up 4th down and an 11-yard loss to boot. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this one is incomplete. A disappointing drop there on 4th and goal. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
2nd down and 4.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
239 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Now Gordon on 1st down. Uses the stiff arm. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Jones.
He'll dump this down to Stevenson.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game.
That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on